Hi there. I've been kind of slacking off. It's very bad week. Hate discrimination, a real problem in the workplace. When some people began working remotely during the coronavirus pandemic, they realized there were good parts and bad parts of this new situation. Deepa Lakshmin has one of those workers who had to get used to hours of virtual meetings, but she wasn't complaining. It was the first time nobody could really look down on me, she wrote in 2022. Lakshmin is about 150 centimeters tall, and during her career, she said she has often felt self-conscious about being shorter than average. Other people who are shorter than average report they've been mocked by colleagues and bosses or feel they are not taken seriously at work. Hate, height discrimination or heightism is a real thing in the workplace. Research suggests that taller people are more likely to earn more than shorter people, and that bosses prefer taller candidates. People also often think of taller workers as more natural leaders too. In his popular book Blink, published in 2005, yes, my baby, you've been kind of mocking me, aren't you? Yes. Malcolm Gladwell looked at more than half of the CEOs of the top 500 companies in the US. Almost 60% of the male CEOs in his survey were 182 centimeters or taller. That's quite tall. While only 15% of men in the US are this tall. Gladwell did his survey 20 years ago. But employees of today still believe heightism is an issue. The problem is it's hard to prove that the height discrimination exists, particularly when employees may not realize they are doing it. It may not even be something that complaints are aware of, and many places don't include height discrimination as something to consider in their hiring policies. There's also the argument that the most confident people are more likely to become leaders, and tall people are more likely to feel confident because of the way they are perceived by others. Heightism isn't going to disappear overnight, but for people like Lakshmin, working from home created a more level playing field, she said. That's also true. Discussion. Have you heard of height discrimination before? No, I haven't heard as a word, but yeah, I kind of feel that though. Do you find it surprising that taller people are more likely to earn more than shorter people? That was surprising though, but that can be true. Do you imagine height discrimination is a problem in your country? It can be a problem, eh? How would you feel if everyone you worked with was taller than you? I don't mind though. I don't mind taller or shorter, as long as we do the work, What types of discrimination do you imagine are most common in the workplace in your country? Men and women. Yes. Feminism ですか. Further discussion. Do you think companies do enough to prevent discrimination? Are there any labor laws in your country you'd like to see changed? What was the hiring process like for your current job? That was interesting. That was an interesting one. Have you ever thought about changing jobs? If so, what job would you go for? Is it not our differences that divide us? It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. And Audre Lorde, what do you make of this quote? And I do agree with it 100%.